Okay, so for the next lesson, we have concrete and concrete products. It's under the building technology division 3. For the basic composition of cement, it is one of the component, no, or the original composition of cement is lime. It is the oldest manufactured building material as a mortar and plaster by early civilizations, especially Greeks and Romans, no, in before 2600 BC. Yan yung mga applications niya in the different concrete construction that have been happening in that time under the Greeks and Egyptian, Greeks, and Romans. So, yan yung itsura niya. Medyo malabo, pero it's more like a powdery-like material made of, para siyang rocks, no? Calcination, carbons, no? Of, carbonates of calcium and magnesium. So, that certain material is what we call lime. For the carbonates decomposition into carbon dioxide, which is expelled, and calcium oxide called quicklime. So, ito yung itsura ng isang quicklime. So, before quicklime can be used, it must be first mixed with water, which is the process called slaking or hydration. Kasi nilalagyan siya ng water to be slime-like material. So the lime has now become calcium hydroxide, no, which is called slake or hydrated lime. So ganyan yung kanyang process before it became cement. So ito yung itsura ng hydrated lime, which is mixed with water to make it a lime putty, no? Parang halo siya, no, with cement. Used as an ingredients for hard finish coat or 2 or 3 coats, Portland cement plaster. So it's used for mixing cement, mortar, concrete to increase workability, decrease permeability to water, kasi meron na siyang hydrated nga siya, kaya siya tinawag na hydrated lime, in order for the cement, no, to be more workable, reduce cracking due to shrinkage. Kasi pag masyadong maraming yung cement mo, it will crack, no, often. So the type of lime which is underwater is called hydraulic lime, used only where slow underwater setting is required. Like for example, works on rivers, seaports, etc. Now that has something to do with concrete, no, underwater or near shoreline. Next type of cementing material, we have gypsum, no, another type yan na cementing material. So gypsum is like lime, was used as a plaster, no, by Egyptians. Kumbaga siya yung isa sa mga ginagawang plastering finishes, no. Yan yung itsura nyo, parang slime din, no. Used by Romans, Greeks, and Egyptians. Plaster is from the Greek word for both the new material and the calcinated product. So in architecture terminology, plaster and gypsum are often interchangeably. So sometimes it became similar. So the remaining product is plaster of Paris, which is pure gypsum or used or hard wall plaster. If 39.5% impurities are present or added retarded to set and improve the setting's quality. Hard wall plastics is harder than lime plaster and it sets more quickly and thoroughly. So yan yung characteristic ni gypsum compared to lime. Okay? And Gypsum plaster is rendered more plastic by addition of hydrated lime. Fiber on hair is sometimes added to great cohesiveness. So may mga natawag tayong admixture, no, or foreign material to be added in gypsum cement, no, to make it more stronger. The fiber may be hemp, no, ito yung mga pwedeng ihalo diyan sa gypsum natin, gypsum plaster, sisal or jute, no. The hair is generally clean goat or cattle hair so that hindi siya madaling makrack or hindi siya madaling mag-deform, no, or masira kagad in case na matamaan na siya ng anumang bagay. So, ito yung mga example ng mga cast, no. Kumbaga kung ano siya, concave. At pag try ka na buhusan siya ng gypsum cement or gypsum plaster, it will create a shape, no, an ornament, no, na nilalagay ng mga architects, no, under the Egyptian period, the Greek and Roman. So ito yung mga examples nun, how they cast columns, decorative materials under gypsum materials. And lastly, the very modern, no, type of cementing materials, we have also the cement, no, which is first developed by Romans by mixing slaked lime. Ano yung slaked lime natin? Yun yung hydrated lime natin with pozzolana, volcanic ash, no? Slaked lime plus pozzolana, which hardens underwater. So with the fall of Roman Empire, the art of cement making was lost for several centuries. So in 1756, Smeaton, an Englishman, rediscovered hydraulic cement, but it was until 1824 that Aspdin, an English bricklayer and mason, invented and patented Portland cement. So kay Aspdin, no, napunta yung author, no, ng pagiging inventor ng Portland cement. Kasi pag hindi mo yun na-patent, hindi talaga mapupunta sa'yo yung credits, no. So today, the word cement generally refers to Portland cement. Kasi yan lang din naman yung isa sa pinaka popular, no, na brand of cement since the first release, no, of cement, type 1 and type 2. Portland cement is obtained by finely pulverizing clinker produced by calcining proportionate mixture of agar-cellulose, no. Agar-cellulose is composed of silica and alumina and calcareous, no. So this is the two main component or the two main material for a cement, no. Agar-cellulose, which is consisting of silica and alumina, and calcareous, no, the lime. So if you are wondering what are the ingredients for a cement, o Portland cement to be exact, agar-cellulose lang at calcareous with iron oxide and small amounts of other ingredients, no. So these are the types of Portland cement: slow setting, quick setting, sulfate resisting, and white cement, no. Storage, no. So basically you're going to store a cement, no, in a storage which has a wooden floor raised. So ito, meron siyang raised. Bakit ba nilalagyan natin ng raised? Para yung moisture ng flooring natin ay hindi pumunta doon sa pinakababa, no, ng inyong Portland cement. Kasi pag nag-contact yan sa nag-contact siya sa tubig or hindi kaya kahit maambunan or moisture, it will harden. Hindi naman immediately, pero some part of it cannot be used anymore pag nag-harden yung cement. So meron siyang sinuggest, no, 12 inches from the ground. So cement is soft, silky to touch, and lumps do not readily to break. And the piles should be limited to 12 sacks in height. So pag binilang natin to, it will stack, no, maximum of 12. So, pwede kang bumaba sa 12, huwag ka lang magpas sa 12. Warehouse set, so it is the storage for the cement for long period of time. So, yan yung sa mga hardware, no? When they store a certain storage, certain amount of cement uh, in their storage. The definition of concrete, no, it is a proportion mixture. Bakit kaya proportion? So, malalaman natin yan mamaya. So, concrete is basically consisting of cement, aggregate, and water. Pag nawala si cement, hindi siya matatawag na concrete. Pag nawala naman sa aggregate, cement and water lang, hindi din siya concrete. No? At if water only, so hindi mo naman siya matatawag na concrete. It is basically mixture of three dapat, no? So, plastic mass which can be cast, molded, and formed into predetermined size and shape. Pwedeng meron kang hulmahan. Yan yung ibig niyang sabihin. Okay, upon hydration, it became stone-like in strength, hardness, and durability. Hardened concrete is called setting. No? Kaya may tinatawag tayong 14-day setting. No? Kumbaga sa ating mga columns, nagha-harden siya maximum. No? The compressive strength is being achieved at 14 days. Kaya siya bago tanggalin, no? Or it should be in the practice na 7 days or more than that for the setting. When mixed with water and fine aggregates less than, it is known as mortar, stucco, or cement plaster. So, pag hinaluan siya ng fine aggregates. No? So, yung tawag kanya is ito. So, when mixed with water, which is larger aggregates more than 6 mm, it produces concrete. And strength with embedded steel, yung tawag naman sa kanya is reinforced concrete. So, pag may kasama siyang steel sa loob, or may palaman siyang steel. When without reinforcement, it is called plain or mass concrete. Okay? Or buhos, no, sa Tagalog. Plain or mass concrete. For the qualities of a concrete, it should be strong, durable, uniform in quality, and thoroughly sound. Kumbaga, hindi naman siya ibig sabihin na walang na may imperfection, no? Pero it should be checked, no, this good quality of a concrete. And it should be obtained through careful inspection, correct proportioning, thorough mixing, careful transporting, proper curing period. No? May isa pang requirement dyan, the vibration. For you to have minimized honeycomb, no, or kapak. Yung kung nakikita nyo, minsan may mga portions na walang uka, no? May uka sa inyong mga columns. It's because of uneven aggregates, no? Or hindi pantay-pantay yung laki ng aggregates mo, is natatabunan yung nasa ibaba ng mga portions ng malaking aggregate na yan at hindi siya nag-feel ng maayos, no? We have materials, no, which is cement, and it conforms to the specification and test of Portland cement of the American Society for Testing Materials, or tinatawag nating ASTM, the standard specification and test for Portland cement. And the sound test are usually soundness, constancy in volume, time of setting, fineness, tensile strength. So, 1 bag of cement is approximately 1 cubic feet yung kanyang pwedeng ma-occupy nun, no? 1 cubic feet. And it weighs 94 pounds. Aggregates. Ito yung mga bato, no? Or maliliit na bato. Depende kasi sa size ng bato na ilalagay mo dun sa cement, it became magkaiba yung tawag doon, no? So, if there are aggregates, no, which is present no, in cement when mixing. These are inert mineral fillers. No? Kumbaga, it fills the larger gaps no, when you mix no, the cement with other combination, no, cement and water and aggregates. So, ito yung fillers. It should be particles that are strong, durable, clean, hard, and uncoated, free from injurious amount of dust, lumps, flaky particles, shale, alkali, and other foreign substances. For an aggregates to become fine, it should be smaller than 1/4 inch no, in size, or in millimeter is it's 6 mm. Consists of sand, stone, and screening, and other characteristics. Coarse aggregate. Si coarse aggregate naman, for him to become to be called coarse aggregate, it must be larger than 1/4 inch naman in size. And it is consisted of stones, gravel, and other inert materials which is in similar character. Ito yung itsura niya. No? May pagkakaiba. But it should be larger than 1/4 in size. Larger. To become a coarse aggregate. Special aggregate such as cinders, blast furnace slag, expanded shale or clay, perlite, vermiculite, and sawdust may produce. So these are examples of those special aggregates. No? Sinasama din siya dun sa iyong halo no, ng semento. Water. So water is the third material no, that a concrete is being composed, and it should be free from oil, acid, alkali, vegetable matter, and other deleterious substances. It should be reasonably clean and clear. The use of sea or brackish water is not allowed. No? So, wag nyo kayong kukuha ng tubig dagat. Water combines with the cement to form a paste, no? Paste-like, which coats and surrounds the inert particles of aggregates. Upon hardening, it binds and the entire mass together, which the strength of the mixture therefore depends directly upon the strength of the paste. If there will be an excess in water, for the paste becomes thin and weak, and its holding power is reduced. Water-cement ratio is amount of water used per bag of cement. It usually varies from 5 to 7 gallons, no, which is 6.5 no, for the average. The less water in the mixing, the better the quality of concrete, because pag naparami yung water mo, yung concrete mo naman is hihina. So it will be watery, and most of the concrete is masasama doon sa tubig no, pag nilagay mo na siya sa formas. No? So this is the water-cement ratio, which has something to do with compressive strength no, ng inyong cement no, pag tumigas na siya. Okay? Maximum water ratio as per gallons, pounds of water per 100 pounds of cement. So, slump test. Ito yung test na ginagawa ng structural team, no, which is going to measure the consistency of concrete mix. Paano natin yan ma-determine? So, in this test, the tendency mix up to slump or reduce the height due to gravity action. Pag masyado siyang collapse, ito, nakakollapse siya masyado, it basically means it has more water, no, or it's too wet, no, masyadong marami yung halo. Kasi test yan tinetest natin. Ito namang next, slump, no. So, suitable, no, for suitable, no, to be used pag ganyan yung kanya itsura. And if it is too dry, walang slump. Kumbaga, kung ano yung itsura ng cone mo, yun din. So, it basically not workable, no? Kasi pag masyadong dry naman, mahirap din siya matanggal dun sa ating formas, no? It's too dry. So, this test, no, Yan, may ano tayo, may bucket tayo, yan. May metal bucket tayo dyan. Lalagyan natin yan ng concrete, no, dito sa taas. Pag tinanggal natin yung bucket at naging ganito yung itsura niya, it's too wet. Pag naging ganyan, it's suitable, and too dry naman pag ganyan yung itsura niya. So the mold is slowly raised vertically, and the height deducted from the original height of 300 mm is present at the slump. So it basically, so ganyan yung kanyang itsura na after the test. Ganyan dito sa area na to. Alright, so the harsh mix is efficient for slabs, pavements, or mass concrete where the lowest possible cement ratio is desirable, and the following tables gives the permissible slump of various types of concrete relation and their uses. So ganyan yung kanyang table, no, for the consistency of slump. So hindi na natin to masyado concern because this is more like in engineering side na and other things. So proportioning a concrete, no, so the strength and workability of concrete mix depending on the water cement ratio. So the economy of the mix depends on the proper proportioning of the fine and coarse aggregates. So it basically have relationship with the mixture that you are going to use. And there are several methods for proportioning concrete. Number one is proportioning by arbitrary proportions, water ratio slump test, and water slump test and fineness modulus. So for the proportioning by arbitrary proportion, no, kumbaga meron tayong sukatan, no, for that certain proportioning. So this kind of proportioning has been used by the construction industry for many years, diba? So hindi ko lang sure kung meron pa siya ngayon kasi ngayon yung ginagamit is yung mga concrete mixer, no? May mga 1-bagger tayong concrete mixer, 2-bagger, etc. So proportioning concrete by the arbitrary selection is the proportion of the oldest, the most commonly used, dito sa province sometimes ginagamit pa to, and the most convenient and the least scientific method kasi estimated, no, ng inyong mga mason or di kaya ng foreman. So in this method, the aggregates are measured by loose volume, that is volume as it's thrown into measuring box. Ito yung measuring box, no, na sinasabi. So ganyan yung kanyang dimensions, 1 foot, 1 foot by 1 foot. So it basically 1 cubic meter. So 1 sack of cement, no, isang sack yung nilalagay dyan, is taken as 1 cubic foot. Enough water is used to give the desired consistency. So estimated lang talaga, no. For the common mixes expressed in proportion by volumes of cement, the fine aggregates to coarse aggregate are as follows. So different classes of concrete proportion is established for us to know how much or how many concrete aggregates is being used, and gravel, no, also is present. Okay, so the proportion can be read as class A. Okay, tingin dito for the class A, 1:2:4. 1 is the 1 part cement, 2 parts sand is 2, and 4 parts yung gravel. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, sa isang sako ng semento, 2 part of sand. Ito yung gagamitin mo. So, 2 bucket nito for the class A. Okay? Class A tayo. And 4 parts of gravel. 4 na ganito naman yung gagamitin mo for the gravel. 4 na bucket. No? Versus or mixed with 1 sack of cement. Okay? So, saan yan ginagamit? For suspended slabs, beams, columns, arches, stairs, wall of 100 mm or the 4 inches thick, yung kumbaga yung normal wall natin sa mga bahay natin for the interiors, 4 inches thick. So that is class A, no, na proportion. How about class AA? Etong class AA, 1 sack of cement, 1.5 sacks of sand. Sacks din yan kasi basically yan yung ginagamit natin. And 3 sacks of gravel, no? For concrete, underwater, and retaining walls, yung usage niya. Same goes with the class B, class C, and class D. You just have to know how it incrementally increase, no, from the class A, B, C, and D. So magkakaiba yung proportion niya. Lumalabas din to minsan, no, sa board exam, no. So isa to sa pinaka naalala ko, no, nang kumuha kami. Tinanong yung class A, yung nasagot ko pa is 1:2:3. Kaya dito pa ako nagkamali, no, na sobrang dali lang siya sa uluhin, no. So they have different kinds of usage, no. Ito yung kanyang usage typically, no, for the concrete proportions. Okay, moving on. Ito, water ratio and slump test, hindi na itong natin masyadong ginagamit. Pero pag malaking construction, ginagamit yung slump test, no, for the proportioning. For the mixing of concrete, ito yung ginagamit natin. Reinforced concrete should be mixed by machine, no? Ano ba yung concrete, reinforced concrete natin? Ito yung merong steel, tama? For that certain work, no, to be done, it should be mixed by machine or by batch, no. Machine mixed concrete is usually more uniform in quality. Kumbaga, para isang halo lang, no, that is mixed by hand and generally less expensive in larger volume. So the strength of concrete is very largely dependent upon the thoroughness of mixing. Letter A, we have machine mixing. Okay? So machine mixing is the mixing of batch should not less than 1 minute. No? It should be not less than 1 minute para mahalo siya ng maayos. After all the materials are in the mixer, ito yung mixer natin. Okay? Yan yung mixer natin. Sometimes it is 1 bagger or 2 baggers. It means, pag 2 bagger kasi dalawang bag yung pwede mong mahalo sa isang mixing batch, no? And the mixing time should increase to 1.5 to 2 minutes, and the entire contents of the drum should be discharged before recharging the mixer. So dapat the next batch, no, na mixing should be before it maisalang ulit, kailangan you pour down, no, yung nakasalang. And the mixer should be cleaned at frequent intervals while in use para hindi tumigas yung natitirang mga semento dun sa loob, para hindi siya tumigas. So concrete mixers may be divided into 2 general classes. Number 1, batch mixers, which is into which sufficient materials are placed at one time to make convenient batch of concrete, the whole amount being discharged in one mass after it's being mixed. Number 2 is continuous mixer. Ito na yung ginagamitan ng mga malalaking trailer trucks, no? Mas malaki yung nadadala nito sa site, no? So its materials are fed constantly and formed as the concrete is discharged by steady stream. So these concrete mixers may also be classified as drum mixers, gravity mixers, and pneumatic mixers. So the drum mixers are the most common type. Ito yung itsura niya, the drum type mixers. Hand mixing. For the hand mixing naman, it must be done in a watertight platform. So kung na-notice ninyo, meron silang plywood, no, na ginawang box. And yung sa baba dapat is merong plastic, no, na mag-i-stop ng tubig if ever man na dumalo yung halo doon. Cement and fine aggregate shall be first, and the mix will be dry until the whole uniform is color. Okay? Then water and coarse aggregate shall be added, and the entire must be turned 3 times or until the homogeneous mixture is the required consistency is obtained. Ito yung itsura niya. So sometimes nakita nyo to sa mga small construction or maybe sa large, no? Kahit sa large construction ginagawa din naman yan. Condominiums may ginagawa din hand mixing, no? Lalo na pag mga interior works na yung ginagawa. Pero usually pag sa mga bahay natin, ito yung ginagamit para makatipid, no? Sa batching plant. So regauging or retampering of concrete that has been allowed to stand more than half hour is not to be permitted. Kumbaga, iniwan mo siya ng almost 1 hour, almost half hour, no? Or more than that. So, di mo na dapat yung gamitin. Kasi nag-set na yung settings nun tumigas na. So, kahit i-mix mo ulit yan, no, nawawala na yung compressive strength, no? Next is transporting and placing of concrete. So, fresh concrete should be transported from the mixers as rapidly as practicably by methods that will permit the placing of concrete from the forms and initial sets, of course, without loss and separation of materials. Kaya wala kayong nakikitang mixer sa umaga kasi traffic sa Manila, no? Sa gabi yan, no? Mostly lumalabas kasi para yung estimated time of arrival niya is hindi ma-delay, no? At hindi cause ng problem if ever na ma-over traffic siya kung saan man siya galing. It should be on time, no, yung kanyang pagdating dun sa site. So the delivery of concrete mixer and the form should be fairly continuous and uninterrupted. Not unless malapit lang yung mixing plant or batching plant sa site, no. The transportation kasi should not exceed 30 minutes, no? Kasi pag nag-start na ng 30 minutes, magsaset din yung concrete mo doon sa truck, no? Titigas na yon. So, concrete may be transported by barrows, so yan, buggies, buckets, cableways, hoist, chutes, belts, and pipes. So, pag malayo sa kalsada yung job site, minsan nilalagyan ng metal pipe, no, or GI pipe para i-shoot doon sa inyong job site. So when chutes are used, the slope should not be more than 1 vertical or 2 horizontal or less than 1 vertical horizontal. Right. So before placing the concrete, the forms should be cleaned and inspected, surface wetted, oiled, and reinforced properly cured. So yan, mga formas natin should be sturdy enough, no, to hold the concrete before nyo siya tanggalin. Pag hindi maayos yung formas, minsan na nagiging failure, no, yung pagbuhos. So concrete should be deposited in approximately horizontal layers in walls, columns, and footings, etc. Concrete should never be allowed to drop freely over 5 feet for unexposed work, over 3 feet for exposed work. Alright. For the shrinkage naman, nung nag-shrink kasi yung concrete natin, lalo na pag nag-settle down siya, and temperature changes, what are the things that should be known for that certain scenario? For shrinkage of concrete due to hardening, yeah, and contraction from temperature changes causes cracks, no? And the size of which depends the extent of the mass. They cannot be counteracted successfully, but they can be minimized, okay, by placing reinforcement. Ito yung mga metal reinforcement natin, no, o yung mga bakal, so that large cracks can be broken up to some extent to smaller ones. In long continuous length of concrete, it's better to place shrinkage or contraction joints. May uka, no, na nilalagay, no, pag continuous, no, yung concrete mo. So they are likely to occur at joints where fresh concrete is joined because gumagalaw, no, at nagsishrink yung ating concrete. For the curing of concrete, it must be allowed to cure, no, or harden. So another term for cure is harden after it's being placed. So hardening of concrete is a slow process which the cement and water unite to form compounds that give strength and durability of the concrete. So the three main factors are age or time, temperature, and moisture. So ito yung itsura, no, ng concreting natin for them to settle on its formas. The increase in strength rapidly during the early stage and continues or more slowly as time goes on, and the compressive strength reach about 60% of its own maximum value at the age of 28 days and about 80% at an age of 3 months. Curing is primary in keeping the concrete from drying out too rapidly, kaya binabasa natin siya every morning and afternoon. So it should be covered, no? And the floor shall be covered with paper sacking wetted down at the edge with burlap, sand, and earth that keep moist, which is the concrete is hard enough to walk on. Removal of forms at prescribed time. So dapat hindi dapat tanggalin kaagad yung mga formas natin until time specified. Depende kasi sa part, no, ng residential or ng building yung binuhusan. Magkakaiba yung curing time na removal of forms ng isang column, ng isang beam, at saka ng mga slabs natin. Sprinkling with water, kaya siya binabasa. For beams and columns and walls are sprinkled or sprayed with water as soon as the forms are removed. And curing compounds using curing compounds, no? So mamaya meron tayong admixtures. Ito yung mga curing period, no? Depending on the part, no, of the building that you have been concreted, no? So pag nagbuhos ka ng footing mo, the curing period of that footing is 1 day for massive footing. Cantilever footing, yung nakahang, is 5 days, and the slab footing is 5 days. For walls and plasters naman, up to 2 meters high, it is 1 day, plus 1 day for additional meter fraction, no? Up to 30 centimeters thick or more. For up to 2 meter high naman, no, na wall, 2 days, 48 hours, and 1.5 day, no, for additional meter. For without loads, same as B. For the columns 48 hours. For the slabs, 3 feet is 5 days. For 7 feet span is 7 days. For beams and girders, we have 3 days or up to 14 days upon the removal of forms. For arches, before removal of forms, it should be 7 days. For spandrel walls. For spandrel arches, 14 days. And for the main arch, it's 21 days. For balusters, yung mga sa terraces natin, terrace, it should be 1 day. For piles and posts, it should be 3 days for the sides and 14 days at the bottom. Moving on the admixture natin, these are the substance, no, na hinahalo natin dun sa cement or sa concrete natin, no, added to the cements, mortars, and concrete for the purpose of improving or imparting particular properties such as improved workability, improved durability, accelerating setting or hardening, retarding or nagpapatagal ng tigas ng ating semento bago siya mag-set, improve wear resistance, impart water repellent or okay. Yung isa is from kaolin and sellite. Example niyan is hydrated lime, kaolin, and xylite. Yung isa naman is waterproofing compounds, kaolin, xylite pa rin. Impart color, mineral oxides, colorcon, light colorcon, and metallic chrome. So these are the main 3 categories for admixture, no? Mixing into concrete, mixing into mortar, surface application, or finish. This admixture come in this form: powder, paste, or liquid form, no? So yun yung mga hinahalo natin sa mga concrete natin before siya mag-settings. This admixture includes the accelerators to speed up setting time. Kung nagmamadali kayo sa slab nyo na titigas agad because of certain conditions like malapit na yung rainy seasons, no? Hindi kayo kagad makapaghintay ng hindi, especially pag rainy seasons, no, nilalagyan ng accelerators para tumigas agad yung mga semento natin kasi masisira yung kanyang compressive strength na pag nabasa yung bagong buhos. So the principal ingredients are calcium chloride, and the maximum added is 2 pounds per bag of cement. So the disadvantage of accelerator is it increases the expansion and conduction of concrete, reduce resistance to sulfate attack, and increases efflorescence and corrosion on high tension steels. So yan yung admixture natin na accelerator. For the retarders, ito naman yung kabaliktaran ng ating accelerators. For the retarders, it slows down, no? It slows down the hydration of cement during very hot weather, no? For you to make it more workable. It may cause some loss of early strength and therefore require careful control. More frequent slump test is reduced. Type of admixture, air and training agents. So this is minute air bubbles to greatly increase the resistance of concrete to freezing. Pag nagbubuhos ka naman sa mga cold countries, no, especially sa mga winter climate. Disadvantage of this is require careful control and more frequent slump test. Next example is inert or finely divided powders such as glass, silica sand, stone dust, and hydrated lime. Hinahalo siya doon sa mixing. This is to improve workability as per manufacturer's direction. Usually proportion is 10 to 15%, and the waterproofing admixture then waterproofing admixture reduce the capillary action, the voids in the concrete or mortar. But when it decreases the water absorption of the concrete or mortar, it does not render concrete waterproof and manufactured in stearic acid or its compound, mainly calcium, stearate, and include asphalt emulsion. Ito yung ginagamit natin sa mga buhos natin sa septic tanks, CRs, no, sa water tanks, para walang leak yung mga tubig. Colored pigments, nilalagyan natin ng color yung ating semento. So it has 2 types, the dry cast and the integral colors. For the dry cast, for surfaces of coloring lang to, no? Dusted on usually in 2 coats after surface water has disappeared. For the integral colors, for body coloring, integral color pigments are incorporated in the mortar topping and mixed with dry cement and aggregates before water is added to add color pigment. So admixture for mixing into mortar includes accelerators, plasticizing agents, waterproofing agents, and color pigments. For the surface naman, no, sa ano lang, top surface, no, pag nag-set na yung inyong semento, we have hardeners, color pigments, special aggregate sealers, abrasive, etc. Next is forms. For yung mga formas natin, no, before we buhos the cement, parang ito yung cast, no, kinakast natin kung ano yung shape, no, ng magiging semento natin in the next couple of days after you have buhos the semento. We have lumber forms, no, the most common one. It should be partially seasoned, kiln-dried, has tendency to swell when soaked in concrete, and swells that causing bulging and distortion of forms. Pag hindi maganda kasi yung formas mo, mag-deform yung kahoy, and pati yung concrete mo magde-deform din pag tinanggal mo yung formas. So it should be okay in the first place, no. So green lumber on the other hand dries out and shrinks and allowed to stand too long before the concrete is placed. Tendency of green lumber is to check and warp, may however prevented in some extents by keeping the board too saturated with water. So ito yung itsura niya, na using natural water. Well-seasoned lumber, care should be taken not to drive to work up too close. So these forms should always be left in position to experience some slight swelling without undesirable results. Sheathing of lumber dressed, at least one side and both edges, are used when removal and cleaning the forms are necessary for reuse pag gusto mo siyang gamitin ulit. Sheathing lumber should be dressed on all four sides and should be used in face work where smooth and true surface is important. So, kailangan hindi siya textured, no? If ever man gusto mo yung textured, mapa-interior man siya, on the other side naman yung smooth surface. Tongue and groove lumber, it should be achieved in tight joints between boards and floors and wall panel construction. The dressing of the lumber is true to edge, to form square or butt joint, no, for columns and beams and girders. Frequently used is 2 inches for the beams, girders, and columns, 1 inch naman for floor panels, beams, and girders, 2 by 4 naman for struts, posts, shores, and uprights, and 1 to 2 inch naman for the cleats. Ito yung itsura niya pag nag-assemble ka ng forms, no? Meron siyang braces, no? Meron siyang tukod, no? Ito yung brace niya, sinasabi natin. Metal brace, no? And it should be have metal plates, no, na nag-hold sa kanila. Sometimes kahoy lang din yung ginagamit nila, no, not metal, kasi mahal kasi yung metal eh. Or sometimes nagrenta na lang for the other portions. Alright, next kind of form is plywood form. So ito yung usually ginagamit natin sa mga residential houses. For smooth surface and required plywood should be waterproof, grade A, and at least ½ inch in thickness. Kasi pag masyadong manipis yung plywood natin, ginamit nating formas yan, pag tinanggal natin yan after the curing period, tinanggal natin, binaklas na natin yan, minsan nabibiyak or nasisira, no? At hindi na natin magamit ulit. So yung minimum natin na dapat gamitin is ½ inch, no, for the plywood. Steel forms, ito yung mga steel sheets natin, no? Like pans for concrete joist, steel decking, corrugated steel. May mga steel decking kasi na tinatanggal after mabuhusan. Meron namang wala or hindi na tinatanggal or kasama na siya dun sa buhos. Yan yung ginagamit minsan, no, sa mga commercial spaces. Kasi mabilis at madali lang siyang gawin. Lalatagan mo lang ng deform bars or steel bars, then tsaka mo siya bubuhusan, at yung steel deck na yung sasalunon. Wala ka ng forms na gagamitan. And another type of forms is plastic form. So basically, from the name itself, it is polystyrene plastic. Processed concrete, ito naman yung mostly processed na with some chemicals added. So number one, or type of concrete which is processed concrete is aerocrete. No? This is a lightweight. Okay? Kumbaga, di ba pag concrete is mostly heavy-weighted. So this one is light-weighted, expanded structured concrete produced by adding small amount of metallic aluminum powder to the mixture of Portland cement or sand or of cinders. No? So nilalagyan siya ng metallic aluminum powder. For the addition of water, gas is generated and expands the wet mix and forms small air cells throughout the material, used for structural walls, floors, roof slab, partition blocks for soundproofing, wall insulation, rooms of refrigerator plants, lightweight fill on top of structural floor and floor slabs. Gunite, another type of processed concrete. It is the mixture of sand and cement deposited under high pneumatic pressure, no? So yan yung itsura niya. So buhos siya with machine under high pneumatic pressure, or tinatawag nating cement gun, which required to supply water added before the dry constituents emerge from nozzle. Before siya magbuga, nilalagyan niya na may tubig, no, nakagad dun sa cement gun na ginagamit. Gunite is used for encasing structural steel when reinforced for floor and roof slab and curtain walls, ideal for swimming pool construction. Kasi kagad, no, hindi tulad ng buhos, no, ito naman is meron siyang pressure. Kumbaga nakadikit na siya kagad pag tinutukan mo siya ng cement gun. Porite, next type of processed concrete. It is a concrete which has a chemical foam added to generate gases in the process of deposition. Okay? Next is haydite, processed concrete with lightweight aggregate. And aggregates for lightweight concrete naman, advantages of this are reduction of dead loads. Kasi yung dead loads na tinatawag natin is yung weight mismo ng concrete, no? The own weight of concrete is called the dead load, no? It saves structural steel, reduces bearing on foundation, and cuts cost of concrete forms. High insulating value provided by numerous dead air space, rough texture for surface, lightweight allows easier handling of precast slabs and blocks, and this lightweight plaster has less tendency of cracking in its heat resistance material characteristic. Major disadvantage of lightweight aggregates results paradoxically of physical quantity, like it becomes weight saving and good insulators. Lightweight aggregates can be divided into 4 general classification. Number 1 is aggregate of volcanic origin, which uses pumice. No? Pumice is well qualified as a lightweight aggregate when dry and well graded, hard to be handled and mixed out without excessive breakdown. So its water absorption is one of the good feature, no, of pumice. Perlite. Perlite is composed of stable silicates and inert which durable for the use of lightweight aggregates for insulation. Okay, for the walls and ceilings, walls and floors. Okay, perlite is useful when maximum strength is not required, and precast slabs and blocks in floor fill and fireproofing and plaster. Then lastly, the micaceous minerals, which is the very example known is yung vermiculite. Vermiculite is the one that expand in application to heat as much as 30 times its original volume. Kumbaga, lalago, no, or mas lalaki yung volume ng cement mixture na ginawa mo. Dry ground ore is subjected about 1,800 degrees for 4 to 8 seconds, after which weight only 6 to 12 pounds per cubic feet. Pero gagaan siya, no? Used for concrete fireproofing steel, for floor and roof fill, and acoustic fireproof plaster. Expanded shales and clays. So these are lightweight aggregates from shales and clays. Requires heating for the material to keen to temperature near its fusion point. Example of clay shales aggregates are Aerox, Rocklite, and Diamonite Hydite. Byproduct aggregates, these are expanded slugs, foam slugs, or foam slugs that is made for treating molten blast furnace. These are the weights of aggregates based on each type. And that's the end of this topic, no, for the concrete and concrete products. Thank you very much, and kindly stand by in the Google